Hey guys, so we're live. As what I promised no, at the start of the year that I wanted to do more live streams to answer the questions that you guys have sent out, and I, I'll try to do more of this over the next few weeks as the year unfolds. But I want to take this time to answer your questions, so feel free to drop them over. I have the chart loaded here for Bitcoin. I'll try to talk about the chart also in a bit. But if you guys have anything that you guys want me to discuss or at least talk about, feel free to send them my way, and I'll try to answer those questions as well. So while we're waiting for people, I just want to greet the ones that are joining us. We have Mac 121. Hello to you. We have Rab Estopare. We're actually live right now in both Facebook and YouTube. We have 133 people joining us as we start this. Ian Dalangin, hello to you. Gabriel Franco, hello. Dex Santos, hello to you. Romerico Marticio, hello. As Christian David Rodriguez asking about SLP. Is it actually still worth it? That's a good question. No? I think analyzing and at least looking at SLP, one of the reasons why it's going down is there's a lot of people swapping it from SLP back to fiat. And I think what Axie needs to do for it to be somehow not swapped. Yeah. Also, for those that are in the markets for the first time, prices go down because of supply and demand. Prices go down when there's more sellers into a position. So what does that mean and how does that translate to everything? Um, when there's more sellers, why are there sellers? Because they're swapping their SLP back to fiat. So the challenge for Axie there is they have to create something in game where the use of SLPs will be more relevant. The use of SLPs will be bigger, so that people uh, would not be too enticed to swap it back to fiat currency. So unless they do something about it, there will be more, I think, sell pressure in it. And if you have been tracking SLP also for quite some time, um, I think one of the things that you would need to watch out for is that they created the RON index, and the RON index allows an ecosystem somehow inside the entire Axie Infinity games, no, and you have the coins that are highly related to Axie that are there. So I think that's one part, but I think they have to make a way where there will be bigger and better mechanisms for when people get SLP that they can use it actually end game, which will create buying pressure for it. So there. What else? We have Chris Hidalgo asking for Shiba Inu. Will it go up? I think I think the thing that people need to check out also for Shiba Inu is that its market cap. The larger the market cap, the larger amount that's actually needed for it to actually push higher. What do I mean by that? So for those who don't know what market cap means, you can reference a video that I created in YouTube. It's just a few days ago also where I itemized the formula for market cap. But to answer the question straight right now, market cap is basically the number of tokens or coins that are in circulation multiplied by its current stock price, token price, coin price as well. So if you have more tokens or coins that are in circulation, and then you multiply by a price that's going up, the market cap goes higher. The thing about a higher market cap is for it to continually go up, it will require a larger dollar amount for it to push higher. And uh, let me double check what the current market cap of Shiba Inu is. But for Shiba Inu, its current market cap right now is it's ar- it's around 16.2 billion US dollars. And if you look at it, it's number 14 in the ranking in in terms of ranking all of the tokens and coins via their market cap. Next to it is Doge with around 20.7 billion. Next to it is Polygon at around 15.4. So Uh, as you saw Shiba Inu at the start of 2021, its market cap was very, very small. It rode also the entire narrative of Doge and meme coins. And yung success niya when it started out, when it continued to push higher, was pretty much at the start because number one, its market cap at that time was lower, and it just needed a very, very small amount for it to actually push up. But from where it is right now, if you try to look at it also, um, the other coins and tokens that are above Shiba Inu, Avalanche, Polkadot, Terra, XRP, Cardano, Solana, BNB, Ethereum, and then the stable coins that are above them. They have a lot of not just use cases, but most of them are L1 blockchains where there are a lot of dApps that have been built around it. So uh, it will be harder for it to replicate its previous success, brought about, or at least previous price movement brought about that by its heavier now, and the tokens and coins that it's side by side with are relatively, how do I say this, have more use cases and have more programs and applications that are being built around it. So for those who are asking also, one of the things that I look at in the cryptocurrency space is the level of development that's being built there. I think that's very, very important because at the end of the day, this will be a very, very volatile market, and you've seen it naman over and over that it's been highly volatile over the past even the past few days, even today we're seeing large movements down. But the strength of it is you always follow where the adoption is. You always follow if there's movement, not in the price, but in where technology is headed, where development for that particular project is. Because if there's a lot of development in that, uh, and it will have a larger sense of growth also over the next few years as well. So I hope I answered your question. You have Paulo Estrago. Hello to you, Paulo. We have Meg Suzuki. I remember Meg Suzuki. I always remember Meg Suzuki's from Japan. Um, Josarel Biasan. Hello to you. Um, Nikolai Christianeri. Any predictions was XRP? So, this is very interesting because for those who don't know what XRP is, uh, XRP basically is trying to disrupt our remittances. It's the cryptocurrency equivalent of somehow Western Union that you can use XRP as a railway for you to be able to transfer fiat from that's borderless, meaning you're from Spain, you want to transfer euro to the Philippines, you can use XRP for that, and it's cheaper and faster. Everything hinges, in my opinion, on how the case is. That's one of the reasons why it went down a couple of months ago, and that's one of the reasons also why it really hasn't followed suit to how the entire cryptocurrency market um, has moved. As you've seen, no, at some point in the second half of 2021, the crypto market started to push up. Then at some point also at the early parts of 2021, it pushed up as well. But in the second half of 2021, XRP really um, did not follow in stride because everything is still hinged on how the court case will be, which I don't know how it will go. There's of course there's a lot of speculations, there's a lot of rumors and news about it, but I'm not the type of person who likes to follow rumors and news. And if you've been following me for quite some time, I would even tell you the opposite. Don't follow what other people say. Don't follow what I say. Follow what your conviction is. Follow what your strategy is. Follow what your research is. Because at the end of it all, that's what will allow you to have conviction, especially times like this where there's a lot of volatility. I just want to say this though that when XRP was created, um, a lot of the faster and newer blockchains that you could build smart contracts on that are scalable, that are faster, and are cheaper in terms of cost of sending. we're not yet there. So I was talking to a friend regarding this that I'm sure you've seen Binance Pay that you can actually pay someone via QR code or via their Binance address, and it's real time and it has zero fees. And in the same way, if you look at Avalanche, you look at the BSC network, you can also look at Terra slash Luna. You can transfer money wallet to wallet with very, very minimal fees. So I it's interesting to see how the applications of XRP will continue to play out. But I don't know. There's a lot of newer chains also that allow you to send money that's actually borderless. But ultimately speaking, sentiment will be hinged on how the court case in the US for Ripple will actually be. So there, I hope you guys are learning, and I hope that this is something that's helping you at the end of the day. Um, I know I put videos out on YouTube, but the reason why this is fun for me is that I just want to give you as much value as possible. I just want to um, change the narrative that there can be informational content right now in a world where there's so much fear, and I'm sure you know that there's cases that are rising also right now that um, all it takes for you is to be able to study, research, do your own due diligence, and deploy capital into something that you fully understand. And I just really hope that I just help you and just give you value as possible. We have Caroline Lacos from YouTube joining us. Oh, we have Aris Valorant from Italy. Thank you so much, Aris. I fully remember. Alam ko may utang pa ako sa Aris for the interview. But yeah, we'll try to make it work also sometime in the future. You have Anatoza family, DVPH Crypto is the best. Joel De La Torre, hello to you. Miguel De La Cruz, hello to you. Suzuki is back. Oh, yeah, so part of my New Year's goals is to try to do more of this. Yun nga lang kasi this takes a lot of time. And medyo, kaya rin ako, that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing this last year is since doing live videos take 30 minutes, an hour, I would end up tired and then medyo pause yung voice ko after. Unlike YouTube, the videos are just 10 minutes lang, but it just makes you go back to the reason why you like to do things. You do things because you love it. You do things because it's helping other people, and that's why that's why I'm trying my best to be able to do as much for you guys as possible. Um, Nian, I want to learn to trade, but I don't know what to start. My suggestion is uh, if you want to trade, spend a lot of time learning how to read charts. Spend a lot of time learning how to use technical analysis. It's not foolproof. It does not mean you won't make mistakes. It does not mean also that it's a one size fits all strategy. But I think it's a very very good place to start if you want to learn more about how you can actually trade. And there are other methodologies also on how people trade, but for me, it's what makes the most sense to me. So there. Um, I am Wilan. Baba pa kaya Ethereum or should I buy na po ngayon? Uh, the level of buying will be dependent on what your buying parameters are, and iba-iba tayo ng buying parameters. Eh. I just want to say this though, from a person who loves NFTs. Broad difference also right now is that majority of NFTs are highly connected to Ethereum, and since Ethereum is slower, it's NFTs that are based that are doing well also, and I think that's why diversification is also somehow important and somehow relevant because if one asset class does not do so well, we have another asset class that could somehow pick up the slack, and that's what we're seeing also. I think one of the biggest concerns of a lot of investors globally is that the Fed. I don't know if you know this, but um, one of the reasons why markets went up 2020, 2021, not just the stock market but also the crypto market, is the massive printing that the U.S. government did over over a stretched period of time. And a lot of that money ended up in the stock market, some went into real estate, and some also went into the cryptocurrency market space. And what they're saying actually right now is that because inflation is starting to creep up in the US, they might increase rates, and also whatever the printing that was going on, maybe tapered. And with that going on, that would cause somehow, no, there's no more free money that's flowing, and that would somehow cost a lot in terms of the money that used to pile in the stock market and the cryptocurrency markets as well. So my answer to that is, please take the time to learn what your buy price will be, and above and beyond the buy price for that is your conditions na pag nabili mo siya, what will cause you to sell it later on, and what will cause you also to continually hold on to it. So unless you have that layered, I highly suggest to not do anything yet. I highly suggest that you um, do your research first and come in and start to enter a position when you've studied it fully and you've covered your bases on how you're supposed to go about it. That's not the sexiest answer, I know, but uh, it's the most real answer that's there. And really, my channel is, I think, one of the most boring channels in finance, because this is not the sexy type um, of of talk where, okay, buy this, it will go up. These are the boring things that are real to me, things that I believe in, things that I have been using and doing also. So there. Anyways, um, Richard Javier, good afternoon to you also. Um, Rockford, hello bear or still bull market in crypto? So that's a good question. Well, please do note this though. Every time you invest, it's highly important still to define what your narrative is when you enter something. Meaning, are you coming into it as a trading narrative, or are you coming into it from an investing narrative? Because if you're looking at a technical analysis point of view, it's relatively simple for me. I just plot in the 200-day moving average, and if the price of what I'm trying to analyze is below the 200-day moving average, then I consider that somewhat of a more bearish market already altogether. So it's even different sa stock market, because in the stock market, um, from the highest point measured 20% below, they already consider that a bearish market. But for crypto, as you all know, the downward moves, no, that are above 20% would happen on a normal basis. So the way I would gauge it, at least from a technical analysis point of view, I would always look at the 200-day moving average. Um, if it's below that line, if it's below that level, I consider that a more bearish stance as well. So allow me to zoom in here. So what I currently have though, at least for Bitcoin right now, is the 7-day, 25-day, and 99-day moving average. And 7, 25, and 99-day moving averages are all below, meaning from that perspective, from that point of view, it's relatively bearish. But just to answer the question also that was sent out, allow me to just change this to 200 days. So we have a broader context also on how it looks like using the 200-day moving average. So as you can see it there, you as you can see there, it's relatively below the 200-day line already. It's below that, and I would continue to somehow analyze this from a more bearish standpoint up until it goes above those moving averages as well. And even if you notice it, nakalagay din yung MACD dito. We have the MACD below the zero line cross up until now, which it crossed below zero somewhere here in November. So from a MACD perspective, it already had a more sorry, that's why I found her I'm doing live because namamaos ako if I talk dire-diretso. So from a uh, sorry. So since November, it started to cross below MACD already. As it started crossing below the zero line level for MACD, it indicated also a more bearish stance, and we have been in that situation since November, third week of November 2021 to where we are today, first week of January 2022. So we could roughly say now close to 2 months from a MACD perspective that we have been relatively bearish. So there. I just want to mention this also. RSI is also close to oversold level, so meaning we have seen quite a bit of selling as well. So there. Mark Jason Soriano, will Tito price go up or will it remain stagnant? This is something interesting. No, I really haven't had the chance uh, to track the Philippine markets over the past months. So I've made videos about this in YouTube that my timelines for buying and selling for Philippine markets have somehow been stretched more. Uh, I've primarily focused on investing, position trading, and dividends for the Philippine markets. Unfortunately, I'm not currently watching or tracking Dito, so I don't have a strong opinion about it. From what I do know is that uh, they have an SRO, and they've also started operations March last year. What's interesting to see though is that from a revenue standpoint, how much of the pie they're actually getting. Yun nga lang, I haven't really studied it for quite some time. The crypto and NFT slash meta, even the metaverse markets have taken a bit of my time as well. So I'll try to make a video about it. I can't really promise, but I've and it reflects no majority of the videos that I've created um, has been highly connected to cryptos because it's truly fascinating for me, and it's something that I don't know. I just like it. The same excitement that I had in the stock market more than 15 years ago. That's the same excitement that I have right now for the crypto and NFT space as well. And I just want to say this that uh, because I've been doing it for quite some time, that it's been relatively automatic. And looking at least the Philippine markets, the choices also, I've narrowed it down already. This is there's a certain list of stocks that I'm just generally watching. So I hope I answered. I know hindi ko nasagot tanong mo, but I hope I was able to answer, give you a good rationale still. Maui Moratal. So I was able to answer BTC USDT. If you're just watching this now, please just backtrack the previous minutes on this during the replay. Then you have Jomar, hello to you. Lance, hello to you as well. Then Mac 1021, thoughts on ETH 2.0, E 2.0, still a 50% commission. Sorry, allow me to drink again. Um, Kaya ako nahirapan sa mga live, I just have to keep on drinking lang. Okay, I've seen E 2.0, if you've been tracking it also, yung deadline niya for rollout, for implementation, it has been moved several times already. This is not the first time that it was moved. Because what they're trying to do also is something that's very hard. I keep saying this as an example. It's like doing a heart operation na buhay yung pasyente and you're doing a heart operation. Or another example is that nakalipad niya yung aeroplano. Now, for those who are watching this, the airplane is already flying and you are trying to repair the airplane while it's currently flying. As compared to other chains where they had the ability to see what Ethereum was doing, build something better, but actually build it from scratch with zero users, zero apps built on top of it. For Ethereum right now, there are a lot of apps that have been built on top of it. There are a lot of users that are transacting in it, and they're trying to do the switch. So please remember, your current Ethereum blockchain is proof of work. What they're doing in E 2.0 is proof of stake. So they're building this while this is live. And there will come a point where I don't know if you see my hands up. There will come a point that when it switches, it has to come to a point that whatever is happening here in this particular in the current live one should be reflected and be mirrored in this new one without affecting everyone that's currently transacting in Ethereum. So I think it's understandable, given that what they're trying to do is hard. Um, I think the delays are somehow acceptable because this is something that has not been done before. And what gives me comfort is this: the greatest minds in the planet are working on this. That there are a lot of people who are smarter than me that are trying to make it work. So, do I think E 2.0 will happen? I believe so. Do does it have a chance to be extended more? I don't have an answer to that, but what I do know is any delays is primarily because of the complexity of what they're currently doing as well, and that's why um, another very interesting insight. Each day that Ethereum 2.0 is delayed is another day for this alternative L1 blockchains to get its time in the sun, or another day for these L2 chains that are built on top of Ethereum like Polygon to have more exposure and have more traction. So each time Ethereum is delayed in terms of moving to 2.0, um, there will be more traction, adoption, development in other chains that are trying to beat Ethereum as well. So yeah. You have Zion Valderrama. Hello to you. Good afternoon to you as well. You have June D from Italy. Ciao, sir. How many percentage ng cut loss ang kaya mong matanggap? So, please do remember this. Selling and cutting loss is not just also for trading, but selling and cutting loss also can happen also for investing. If your main thesis on why you actually bought that asset is no longer there, or the main reason on why you bought it is not there anymore. So I don't mainly base selling at a loss based on percentage. For trading, it's primarily based on, did it break down from our level of support? Is it below moving averages? Did the MACD cross below zero? Um, it's more of what are the technical triggers that's causing me to actually sell. In the same way, also for investing. So I'll give you an example. For example, Bitcoin. The main thesis of Bitcoin is it's a store of value. It's scarce. The main thesis of Bitcoin is that there will only be 21 billion Bitcoins ever. Its value is connected to, it stores value. It's very scarce. It's not as elastic as the other chains. That's why it's gold. So if any of those narratives or reasons on why I like Bitcoin is no longer there, I'll sell it. And that's regardless of it's a gain or it's also a loss. So I know there's different schools of thought for this, but I'm not the type of person who sells based on percentages. I like to set I like to put like a set of rules that if this is satisfied, A, B, C, D, E, these are all satisfied, then I start I try to start to sell. So regardless if that's a gain or if it's a loss, I hope I was able to give you value on that. Norwin Rosette, TA of Katecoin. Sige, I'll try to do something for that. What I currently have kasi now is an exchange where Katecoin is not listed, so I don't have a technical chart for that that's currently loaded. But I'll try to I'll try to make something for you. But you can check Tony Herbosa. He has a lot of exposure and he talks a lot about Katecoin. Very nice person, good person. You can check him out. He talks he talks frequently about it. Um, Rachela Amor, good day to you. Good day to you as well. Ian, what do you think is the cause of the massive sell-off in the crypto space? So I answered that a few minutes ago. It is highly correlated to what's happening in the states. And maybe you could also add the spikes that are going on, which is happening also around the world. So confluence of all of that. And if you look at it from certain perspectives, even Bitcoin right now at 40, 41, 42,000 US dollars, Ethereum at 32,000, it's generally up still from where it was last year. And you have a lot of people who entered early that even if they sell at any point in time right now, they would still be at a profit. And please to remember this that retailers, institutions, whales, they all have one. Um, they just have one narrative in mind that when they make money, they're in the markets to make money, and once they started to make money, they will also sell. And if there's a reason for them to get out already, if they think it's gonna go down further, but they're still at the gain, that could be a trigger also for them to actually sell and make profits. So there we have ASAP, Vega, hello to you. Sean Magadia, you could go. I tried to answer this, but it was for another coin. It was for Ethereum. Same answer. Please just backtrack my answer to that question a while ago. Then you have Adrian Manalo, hello to you. Gian Montes, hello. Um, what to do with 10,000 pesos? Oh, that's a 10,000 10K lang wala nakalagay kung pesos or dollars. That's an interesting question, no? Kasi wala masyadong details, but this is what I'll say. Always put it into something that you understand the most, that you have full conviction into, that you have taken the time to actually learn it. The reason why I say that is when you look at it from that perspective, then you won't listen to the crowd. Eh. So what we're sharing here in Facebook and in YouTube is actually the antithesis of um, I don't know the broad majority, because people would always follow where the crowd is headed. My thesis is that if it doesn't follow, even if you don't follow the crowd, but you're following where your skills are, you're following what you know, you're following what you understand, you have spent a lot of time to build the skills towards that, that's where you put the money. Because the ROI of any investment is on whose hand is it on. And for some people that may be real estate, for some people that may be pag-ibig MP2, for some people that may be bonds, for some people that may be stocks, for some people that may be crypto, for some people that may be NFTs as well. And what will work is what you know the most, what you understand the most, that's where you start to deploy capital and start to invest more. So there. Marvin S. Baguio, hello to you as well. Um, Leonard Balais, hello to you. All day, I'm not too sure. I really haven't tracked even their listing. No? I know I had a video about it 5 months ago. The first time I got news that they listed, but it's not part of the current list of at least stocks that I'm currently watching right now. So I don't really have a strong opinion on it. Leonard Bada is, sir, if I will invest in crypto, what's the best for the future? So I kind of don't get that. What's the best for the future? I can, sorry, to try to get some question. Jesse, hello to you from Qatar. Edwin, hello. Um, Oracle system in crypto games, pros and cons, links, learn margin, links, learn margin. What about it? Can you give me more context on the exact question about the Oracle system? We're closing at 6 p.m. I'll try to end this stream soon, but uh, thank you so much to everyone who's joined us. Sultan, Ano po mangyayari sa altcoins pag mag-zero po MC ng Bitcoin? Malabo naman po. It won't go to zero because uh, please go back to what I said about market cap. The formula of market cap is the number of coins multiplied by the current price it got traded on. And the fact that you have El Salvador, who made Bitcoin its legal tender, means that you already have a nation state that will continue to acquire Bitcoin. And the lower it gets, the country gets to have the ability to stack it and buy it at a lower price. So it only takes one individual, one entity to buy something, to buy Bitcoin, and it will have a price. So there's there's zero chance. There's zero chance that no one will buy it. Because the reason why I say that is this: if it goes lower, there will be a lot of people who have a large amount of money, the Michael Saylors of the world, who will continually buy it. And as long as their narrative and their thesis for Bitcoin is there, you will have a group of people who will continually buy and enter the cryptocurrency market space as well. So there, it's 6:01. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. I promise I'm gonna do this from time to time, maybe once a week. Let's see how it is. But we have a video coming out 8 p.m. It's with Tasha Shea again. It's part two. One of the best macro analysts, crypto analysts that we have right now. Her insights are so interesting. And what we're gonna talk about later at 8 p.m. in my YouTube channel is does Ethereum have a really, really large moat? Is it actually bigger? Is it actually stronger? Or will the other L1 altcoin blockchains have a chance to beat it? Solana, Avalanche, Terra Luna, BNB, Cardano, Polkadot, Near Protocol, Algorand, FTM, will they actually be better than them? Especially we have a lot of, especially as what we talked about earlier, E 2.0 is still taking some time, and there's a lot of scalability issues for Ethereum. There's a lot of uh, how do I say this? There's a lot of very, very expensive fees, and also it takes longer times for it to be transacted in general. So expect that somewhere around 8 p.m. later. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. To those who joined us on Facebook, thank you. For those who joined us on YouTube, there are links down below for my books and seminars, and also for those who want to enter the cryptocurrency market, we have all of that as well. So thank you so much, Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you.